So now that I've added my lashes and I added my lip color, our 1960s and 1970s looks are complete. These lashes are crazy. I have never worn these before. Maybe they're a little bit too big for the 1970s, but again, you do have to think if I was going to be on a large stage, they would not look nearly as crazy as they do when I get this close to you, right? Kind of terrifying. They're huge. I don't think I've ever worn lashes this big, but very entertaining. Also very entertaining to have two different sides of my face kind of going on here. But as far as the lip goes, just to kind of like finish off what I did for it, I went for more of like the glossy, like pinky nude look. During both of these time periods, gloss, especially in the 70s, gloss was very, very popular. And I feel like because both of these are more of like a focus on eye makeup, I think that it's better to keep the lips like a little bit more like pinky nude, especially like in like all the looks like for the 60s especially. It was very much like a nude lip, just like it was like, it's like a very normal blush just because everything really is focused on the eye. And then in the 70s it's more of like an all over like complete look because people did kind of like to look very like done up and made up. So if I wasn't a half and half, I would maybe make this like a little bit more vivid pink, but it's still kind of in that like natural world. And just like a quick note on like gloss too, so generally I don't really like to do like a really like thick gloss for stage, just because I think sometimes the light can hit it weird. So this is actually like a lip pencil with like a sheer lipstick over it, so because like the lipstick is a little bit sheer, it has this kind of a shine. So I feel like I wouldn't necessarily want to go like shinier than this on stage unless it says like in the stage notes like they have like crazy glossy lips or something, but I always like to keep it a little bit subtler as far as gloss goes, just so that the lights don't go crazy, people aren't like sticking to it, it doesn't get gross while they're talking on stage. So something like this, like to me, like if I had to wear this, it feels comfortable, it feels manageable, and I think that would be a little bit more appropriate, but again, that's sort of like a personal thing for me. But yeah, so just really quick, just kind of review what we did. So on the 60s, we did more of like a mod, like Twiggy look, right? So all of our attention and our focus is going to be on the eye. So for the eye, it's going to be this really like intense crease kind of a moment that we're having here with like a lot of definition and then like a lot of like lower lash definition too, right? And they did really like to have really large lashes in the 60s. I think I read once that like Twiggy would wear like 3 pairs of lashes sometimes, so having lashes this large for the 60s, probably very appropriate, right? And then for the 70s, we kept it a little bit more like natural, so not necessarily natural in the sense of like the colors that they would use, but they liked like a very like bronzed sun-kissed look, so that's about as bronzy as I can get without turning orange, since I am so pale. And then I did this cream blue base with like a shimmery blue powder over it, and then I just blended that straight up. And then I did kind of like a lighter highlight color underneath my brow. I kept it all very frosted because I loved really frosted looks in the 70s. And then I did just like the smallest hint of like a light brown in my crease to shade it, just so that, especially if you are going to go with lashes that are this big, it's not just like lashes and blue eyeshadow. There's like a little bit of like a barrier between the two, and it kind of just helps your eyes have a little bit more definition. So hopefully that makes the 60s and the 70s make a little bit more sense, and I hope you enjoyed it.